Alright, y'all. One more time. Damn, almost had it. Ah, almost. Uh-oh. Welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel. Real quick, man. Let's call this video part 3. All right, this is a PT Cruiser that I had the misfire, the cylinder 3 misfire, and the flashing check engine light. Okay, so I got it running, guys. Got the head back on. Got it cleaned up a little bit. You know, the last thing you need to do is a test drive, of course. Okay, so, but I went over and steam cleaned the engine. I'll go over a few things with you real quick. New PCV valve, coolant. Oh, please change the oil. Most definitely, because when you pick that head up, some coolant could easily get inside the chambers. And you don't need that. You need all your coolant and oil to be changed. And go back in with some new fresh coolant and oil. Alright, now let me go over a few things with y'all, man. When you're installing a head, or after you install the head and it's now time to start the car up. Here's what I don't want you to do, and that is panic. Okay, do not panic if you spinning the car when it's not starting and it sounds like it has no compression. You will automatically think you did something wrong. You will automatically think you have it out of time. You will automatically think the valves are bent. The valves you put in is bad. So I want to enlighten you guys not to panic. All that has happened is the lifters, the lash adjusters are collapsed. Okay, you know, they work best under oil pressure. Okay, so there's no oil pressure because you have them out of the car. So they are basically collapsed when you put it back in. They are not capable of opening and closing the valves the way they should at this point. Okay, so you literally have to for a while. I mean, it could go on 2, 3, 4 minutes. But of course, get a starter break in between tries. But you just have to turn the car over until those lash adjusters finally pump up. That way they will start opening and closing the valve properly. Okay, do not panic. Just want to make sure y'all are aware of that, because that will drive a mechanic crazy, especially after he just did some major engine work such as this. First thing he would start pulling. I had a guy in the shop, well, I saw a guy in the shop just start pulling the whole timing system back off because he thought he was out of time, guys. That's understandable. That is that happens. But as you can hear, this thing purling like a kitten. No more misfire, no more flashing check engine light, no more nothing. All right. So another thing you should get done and do is tie your computer in. Go to your computer. Let's go to a computer right now. I'm going to show you something. Okay, guys, I'm at the computer. I have it on OBS so you can see a lot better. All right, now, here's a couple of things you need to do after you're done. Let's go into miscellaneous. Now, I don't know how you guys scan tools I set up, but as far as this, one of this right here, cam and crank relearn, we definitely need to relearn the cam and crank, okay? Because you had basically both cams out of the car. So the relationship between the camshafts and the crankshaft are now lost. All right, so the bar is going down. I might just speed it up just so we can get through this fairly quickly, but for the most part I want you all to see how it's done and what you should do after a major engine repair, such as basically that was a head gasket job we just did. We removed the head. A lot of people like to use the term replace head gaskets. I hate that terminology because it's hardly ever the head gasket. But well, when people latch on to something, they just continue, repeat it enough times and it'll stick with anybody. So But anytime you do any kind of major engine repair, I highly recommend that you relearn the relationship between the camshaft and the crankshaft. And that is what I'm doing now. Alright, so we're going to speed through this real quick. Alright guys, there you have it. Cam and crank relearn complete. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is shut the car off, and I'm going to show you this last little procedure that I highly recommend you do anytime you do huge repairs such as what we just did on this car. Alright, and it is simply called, let's close this out. We're going to go to miscellaneous function, reset memory. Okay, basically we want to reset. We don't want to use any of the adaptive memory that was in place before this problem happened. Okay, so what we're going to do, I want to choose all. So I'm going to reset the adaptive numerator, the minimum TPS, fuel shutoff reason, engine runtime, fuel adapters, basically all. I'm going to choose all. Alright, so and then I'm going to hit continue. Memory value reset. And that is pretty much it, guys. So I just wanted to cover that with you. Now you can go ahead and erase all the DTCs, but I really needed you to pay attention to that. And pretty much, like I say, your last little thing you should do is test drive the vehicle. Do not, I repeat, do not give the car back to the driver, customer, family member, whoever owned the car. Do not give it back to them until you do a test drive. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap this video up, man. This was part 3. Alright, just want to call this part 3. No big deal. 3-part series of a flashing check engine light. Now this diagnostic and repair applies to any car. The testing, the compression test, that applies to any car. It just so happened the car that I had the problem on happens to be a PT Cruiser. But for the record, this applies to any car. Okay guys, that's all I have, man. Thanks for watching this 3-part series with me. Comment and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next video. Thanks for watching.